Hi, it's Anna Stowe, private investigator in California with over 24 years of experience. And today I am doing intake on a new mitigation client. I wanted to take a few minutes to explain what that is. So criminal defense mitigation is what mitigation specialists like myself do for a client, a defendant who is facing criminal charges. So this client has already been charged and is already being held at a local jail. I will meet with her via Zoom for quite a few sessions until I go in to see her personally. We do this because the Zoom appointments are readily available, and if you go in person, you may or may not get in. So for the first few appointments, we're going to talk about some just basic background on her, where she was born, who her parents are, did mom and dad marry, divorce, remarry, just social information, nothing triggering or requiring a very confidential response. So that's kind of how we start intake. And the reason that's important is it builds the foundation for all the records that we request. So I will be requesting a birth certificate on her siblings, her mom and dad, and maybe even her paternal and maternal grandparents, depending on what she tells me. This all goes toward developing a social history on this client. And these social histories that we do, starting with grandparents to forward to today, that's the time span that we cover, help us get an idea of who this person is outside of the crime that they're charged with. What has life been like? What was early childhood like? Did her parents receive an education? Did the grandparents receive any sort of education? Where did they grow up? How were they treated in the town that they grew up in? All of this informs our report that we create at the end of this social history that we collect. And that report is formulated. It quotes passages from people that I've interviewed regarding the defendant. It contains records that we've collected that show evidence of, say, an intellectual deficit, learning disabilities, abuse, removal from the home by CPS. All of those factors are included in that report, and those become a mitigation report, which is then given to the judge either prior to sentencing or at sentencing. So a mitigation report can be used to help formulate a plea agreement with the district attorney, or it can be used after a jury trial before sentencing. So these social histories are so important. It's my belief that we should be doing these on every single defendant in the United States. All right, thanks.